that this is a WebEx recording. This webinar is being recorded and may be posted for playback. Staying on the line grants First Data all permissions necessary to record and post for playback. Please disconnect now if you do not consent. Today we're going to be discussing the Payeezy, which is First Data's gateway that you have available. You have a lot of options. It's a very robust option for a gateway. Now, the first thing I'd like to do is ask all of you, what would you define e-commerce as? A method in which a person surfs the web, chatting through instant messenger, activities that relate to buying and selling of goods and services over the internet, or a Facebook program. So I will give each of you a moment to answer that. You can either take your arrow on top with your name and put it next to one of these. You can answer it in chat, or you can turn around and take your phone off mute and verbally share. So up here in the left-hand corner, you have tools that you can use, and you have an arrow next to the letter sign. If you just click on that and click on the screen, you will have something with your name. So if everyone can now choose a option and what they define e-commerce as. Pedro, C. Okay. Anyone else want to chime in with Pedro? Richard typed C, and the survey says, C it is. That is correct. Activities that relate to buying and selling of goods and services over the internet. Thank you for your participation. Today's topics are we're going to do a Payeezy overview. We're going to talk about points of differentiating, developer support and resources, and we're going to also talk about you setting up a demo account. What our objective is to prepare you to be able to describe the Payeezy to merchants, to have a background or understanding, to understand what the Payeezy solution offers you and the different options and tools available within Payeezy. So I ask a question. I will take all of your phones off mute. Are you currently selling e-commerce?
Paul, I have one. It's not really, well, it's B2B. They do over internet.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and,
excellent.
Yep.
Anyone else on the line? Thank you, Pedro, that sells e-commerce now or has sold e-commerce? Okay, I will take that as a no. The reason why we ask these questions is to get an idea on your understanding, everyone's understanding on gateways and e-commerce and virtual gateways. So why is e-commerce important? Well, if you look at any of the numbers over the last almost 10 years, and you look at retail services and e-commerce growth, you will absolutely see that online growth has absolutely exploded year after year, especially during the holidays. You know, you have that Black Friday after Thanksgiving, and you have Cyber Monday after that. And right now, you know, if you're not a business, if a merchant doesn't have a website, they are extremely behind the times. And when you look at some of the statistics that we have listed here, you can see that online retail revenues saw an 11% year-over-year growth in Q1 of 2014. And then when you look at the next one, you can see here that the mobile device was up 35% over last year's first quarter. So there's no question that e-commerce and websites and doing business over the internet is important for a business vitality and survival at this point. When we talk about Payeezy, we talk about not just a virtual terminal, not just a gateway, but it's really a small business solution suite. And the reason why that is it Clover will provide the brick and mortar point of sale options with business management capabilities. Payeezy is an online solution that powers the e-commerce. And that is important for you to understand that, because first, that is Payeezy. It gives a small business the opportunity to expand their horizons to grow their business, whether it be through mobile shopping or customers across the country or around the world. When we discuss the Payeezy solution, here where you can see that there are different options and different sections of it, and you have the web store and the shopping cart, the payments options, security and protection, reporting and analytics, access to apps, and geographical reach, which I was speaking to. So this allows them to run reports and do analytics. It also allows them to expand where they can do business and where their customers are. So that small niche business that may be in that small town may only have a limited number of locals that can turn around and shop from them locally, but they have hundreds of millions and billions of people around the world that might be interested. We also have state-of-the-art leading security protection for our merchants when it comes to e-commerce. And we pretty much can integrate with almost any web store or shopping cart out there. Not all, but most of them, especially the most popular ones. And we have access to certain apps and can take a variety of payments online that we will be going over. The Payeezy e-commerce solution, it caters to the shopping pattern and preferences of a lot of consumers out there. And it also helps with the merchant and what they're looking for, the merchants that are looking to help to start and grow their business online or to enable e-commerce. But what we have is what is a retail virtual terminal, a hosted checkout, and what's called a native API, and we're going to go into that. What's good to know is that no merchant changes required. Existing merchants now see a new look and feel of the tools they currently use. And the reason why I bring that up is that we had a gateway called Global Gateway E4, and we've changed the name and added enhancements and renamed it to Payeezy. So I want to ask another polling question. Do you need more clarification on how to talk to your merchants about connecting to a gateway? So if I can ask all of you to use the tools over here to by your name to the side. If you want to get some more clarification on gateways, raise your hand. And if you are good and don't need any more clarification, put a check mark. So I would give all of you a minute to turn around and answer this question. Okay, great. So I see a couple of hands up, and you're looking for additional clarification on a gateway. So let's go into that. Very good. If you want to take your hand down, just so you know, you just click on the hand again, and we'll pull it down. The gateway overview. So little did you know I was actually setting you up for that, because I knew coming up was the overview for the gateway. I just wanted to get an idea on what each of you knew when it came to the gateway. So just like if the way I always like to explain a gateway is if you had two cities, whatever city you may live on, and there's a bridge in between those two cities. The one city might be a merchant's website, and the other city might be the processor. And when a consumer is purchasing a product or service on that website, it needs something to bridge in between the website and the processor and bring it back. So what a gateway does is it's the gateway, it's the means in which the merchant services and processing happens. And there are different options on that. You have what's called a virtual terminal, and often that will support other POS systems or mail order, telephone order processing. So you might have a landscaper that wants to turn around and process credit cards, but they don't see their customers very often, so they may put that credit card information in there and process it in their office on a recurring transaction on what the weekly maintenance is. Or you may have a business that sells all over the country and they get paid by credit card over the phone, so they would log in to a virtual terminal website that we have, and they would put the information, the customer information, and run the credit card through the virtual terminal on their computer or internet-enabled device. That's what a virtual terminal is. It's just a credit card terminal, but online. The next one is the hosted checkout. That is a simplistic, very basic version of paying through a website. You very often see that with charities, or you see a single button that would say pay here. You will click on that button, and that button will open up a separate screen, or usually a separate window, in which you would enter your credit card information and pay. The reason why it's hosted is because that is a secure payment data that we have, and does not make it necessary for the merchant to have the secure transaction through their website, because they are not hosting that processing information. The last one is probably the most common one. It is the API, which is a fully integration of shopping carts. And what that does is the merchant would be able to customize their shopping cart. They would need HTTPS, a fully secured checkout and shopping cart to process through there. And that would all that would happen within their website. We would do the processing on the back end, but it would go through their gateway, and it would not be hosted by us. I want to stop and see if everyone understands what I just went through, and see what questions you might have on gateways. So let me pause for a moment and see what questions you have.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Yes, Pedro. So in a virtual terminal, could you say that would be could that be an alternative to a point-of-sale terminal, an actual terminal?
Well, a point of sale is usually you're talking about like a POS system, and
right.
A virtual terminal, you can technically have like a computer and a mag swiper like on the side of this, the monitor, or on the side, and you swipe the credit card. I don't necessarily recommend that. I recommend the virtual terminal for mail order, telephone order, home-based businesses, back office billing, B2B. Those are all very common where they get a lot of their processing and payment information over the phone.
Okay.
So I would often set up doctor's offices. They would have credit card machines in the front, but very often their patients would have open bills, and they would have a billing department in the back, and they would be set up with one of these to take payment over the phone and collect past due copays. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Excellent. No problem. This is going to turn around and talk about a little bit about the real-time payment manager. It's pretty much an entry point. It's a personalized management website. It allows the merchant to go in there for retail support, set up recurring payments. So if someone pays the same amount, like I gave with the landscaper, they pay, $150 every single month for their landscaping to be maintenance, then they can set that up for the next 3 months to bill their customer's credit card that amount of money. It gives them a transaction dashboard and detailed reporting. And actually what I would do is I will bring you all to see it live. This is the Payeezy login. A merchant would come here and log into it. A little bit slow internet here, I apologize. So while we wait for this to connect, I will, there we go. All right. So as you can see here, this is a demo account set up. This is the home. It has a dashboard where it talks about recent activity, deposits by currency, number of transactions, the customer number, the address, and then right here you can see you can set up recurring payments, different plans. You can have ones for the first of the month or the 15th or whatever the merchant wants to set up. Here they can go to reporting and reports, administration. So there's a lot of options. And right over here is the POS where they would put through a transaction. So if they turn around and came here and they were doing a purchase, they would come here. And there are additional fields here that if they wanted to put a reference number or a customer reference number, if they were doing ABS, they could put that in here. The country, and process a transaction. It's that easy to do a transaction on the virtual terminal. And as you can see here, this says approved and has all the information with the credit card information encrypted and X'd out. And you can print this receipt if you have a printer, or you can come here and hit email and email this receipt to that customer. So this is a demonstration of what the real-time payment manager looks like. Does anyone have any questions on that or need me to show them anything there? All right.
Hey, Paul. Paul?
Yes. Yep.
So what you just showed now is the real-time payment manager, or did I confuse that with?
Correct.
So
nope, that's
in that real-time payment manager, you showed POS and all that stuff. The previous slide you specified 3 different things.
Yeah, this is the real-time, the virtual terminal is the real-time payment manager. Then you have the hosted checkout and the Payeezy. So I can't show you these unless I have a website. I can only show you this one.
Okay, so what you showed now in the real-time payment manager was the virtual terminal
the virtual
and some
terminal.
other stuff.
Yep.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem. This just shows a screenshot of what I showed you guys live. We put it in there, but you guys got to see the actual live version and even a credit card transaction. Like I mentioned, you can set up here in the real-time payment manager. You can set up recurring billing solutions. It is really nice feature that a lot of merchants get a lot out of, especially when they have they're collecting past due receipts or money due, or there's a constant payment on a monthly subscription level. The hosted checkout, as I mentioned, this is something that is really, this speaks for itself. It makes it much easier for the merchant to do their PCI compliance because it's very minimal on what they are doing. It includes a web page and data. It's just a basic checkout. So you will see here, okay, it is just going to be a plain web page. So if someone was paying, they would click a button, pay here, and they would see this screen, and that's all they would see from it. The API is the custom. This is when merchants are looking to really grow their business online, and it can be used on any device, anytime. Third parties to address the e-commerce needs. So in other words, they could have, they could accept, PayPal on there as well. And this allows the merchant to have web developers do a customization of the checkout process for their customers. This is some areas where it's different and it's efficient from other leading payment. And you can see the new Payeezy Gateway offers several enhanced features that enable it to compete directly with other leading gateways in the marketplace. There are a lot of capabilities that differentiate Payeezy and our competitors. One of the first things that I like to always talk about is the Trans-Armor multi-pay tokens. That is extremely helpful. You also have card numbers, where the card numbers are replaced with tokens and can be stored by the merchant and resubmitted on future recurrent transactions. That helps with the PCI overhead. Multi-currency. If you're not familiar with multi-currency, I suggest you get familiar with it. It is extremely profitable for you. We do have, we can set up training and calls for that. And it enables businesses to expand their business to international markets and process in more than 180 currencies. The multi-location is also very helpful for reporting and allows them to, access from different locations. Across the entire organization, they can have single logins or multiple logins. Set up as far as hierarchy and the reporting access can be adjusted as well. The virtual gift card, the PayPal support, they can be offered new payment options, including the first set of virtual gift cards for premium merchants only, and PayPal. And the last one is it also supports level 2 and level 3. If you're not familiar with that, that is that you will be able to take government, P cards, purchase cards on your virtual terminal, or your I should say on the Payeezy gateway. So these are really big points you should remember. The recurring payment that we spoke of, and a lot. You want to look into this, the hosted checkout, the batch closing options. These are all areas that separate us from some of our competitors. Would you say that this e-commerce solution is better than or about the same of those you're selling against in the market? I know some of you said you had some experience. What you've heard so far, how do you see this compared to what you see out in the market? Any feedback on that?
Paul, if I may, it's Pedro. Actually, this call I joined just to mostly kind of see that difference, because I'm not familiar with how different this is from, like the only one I'm familiar with is authorized.net, and I'm not,
Yep.
I want to see if we get into a little bit of that.
Okay, well, this has, one of the things that we have is, is the security, is our trans armor. So we do a lot of, there's a lot of the options available in this that are included in the Payeezy platform that are additional costs in the Authorize.net platform. So some of those features that I went over here are additional, would be additional costs on the Authorize.net platform. What I suggest is if you could call them up and ask them to give you information on, what they offer with their gateway and what's extra, and they would be able to send you information on that.
That's a good idea. Thank you.
No problem. I used to, when I was in the field, I used to talk to my competitors all the time and get information on pricing and functionality. So this way I always knew what was out there in the field. You'd be surprised how many will send you postcards on a regular basis of their launches. If you go to firstdata.com and this website here, and just so you know, I do have this entire presentation available up here in the left-hand corner under File. If you go to File and Transfer, you hit Control-Shift-T, a box will open up with this presentation for you to download. We have more than 70 shopping carts and software providers that integrate with our e-commerce solution. You can turn around and go to this website and you can see that it will give you the option for what is available to integrate with us. I do recommend that you do that. There are a lot of self-service tools that are available at support.payeezy. What I'd like to do is I will show you that. And bring you to the site.
Is this a knowledge base merchant centric or for agents?
This is open to anyone. So this is not a login for this. So you can here get started with Payeezy Gateway, what happens next, what's new, hosted payment pages. This is the support for Payeezy. This explains everything on here. But what I would do, okay, I don't know if I would share that one, but there is the one that's on First Data. This one here can show them. They can see a lot here by going to the First Data website. There's a self-service tool and technical resources that are available, so you can your merchant can go to developer.payeezy.com, and that's where they can grab the code and go. It contains a lot of the libraries and more information that they would need to integrate with our shopping cart, with our gateway. Reference sources, as you can see here, the Payeezy e-commerce solution and knowledge base that is available. You have the partner program. Definitely download this presentation because these are all available for you, including the developer portal, and you also have here the product training demo. So there's a lot out there that we have for you to tap into to learn more about it. You have client support, and right over here you have level 1 and 2 support teams that are available for any merchant questions. And Payeezy Gateway support is also available through an email. Level 1, high-level technical assistance, is available 24/7, resetting passwords, hosted checkout. So this is all available here. Level 2 is preventing, identifying, and troubleshooting issues, methods of introducing products to the sales organization, creating new training materials for FDC teams associated with Payeezy. So this is more, support for you. After hours, as you can see here, you have level 1 hours of support, 24/7, 24/7, and then API supported 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Level 2 is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time for general questions and integration conference calls. Before we get into questions, there's a few more things I'll show you. When you go here to support.payeezy, you can see log into your demo account, log into your gateway account. So this is all available. A merchant can even set up a demo account and try it out and test it before they do anything to make sure. If you come into here, what I want to recommend to all of you is if you look in this gray box on the right-hand side, you should see here to set up a Payeezy Gateway demo account. This is what I recommend all of you doing is to click on here and to set up. You can see there are demo URLs here, test card numbers, testing CVV and AVS, address verification. But I do recommend all of you go in here and set up a demo account. It is very easy. You would just fill this out and turn around and submit it, and you will get an email when your account is set up. And then this way, when you go out in the field, you can actually do a demo of it like I did for all of you. So I want to stop here. I'm just looking here. Using test credit cards, you also can see here. And the developer guide we talked about. So these are some of the tools that you have available to use. I want to stop and see what questions you might have, and that we, can go over and show you.